Welcome back, everyone, to the Back 40 Firewood channel. So today is the day. It's a few days earlier than when I typically do this, but we are going to be firing up the wood boiler. It's the 27th of September. So usually right around the 1st of October is when I generally start it up. So I've just been looking at the extended forecast and seeing the overnight lows are going to be dropping down into the low 40s here the next couple days, and then even by the end of this week into the 30s. So now, right now the house is still warm. So I figure why not start the boiler now, and then that way I'm not trying to catch up and get the house all warmed up. And so that's going to be happening later today. But before that, I've got a couple big chunks of boiler wood that's become like a common term now with big chunks of ugly wood, the boiler wood. So I just wanted to split those up because they're each kind of interesting. They're all like a 3-stem crotch. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys how I bust things apart. I mean, I know a lot of guys will think of boiler wood as just wood that you shouldn't split, and it's just big rounds that you just throw in there. But for me, when it comes to burning wood in the boiler, I would rather burn efficiently. And the only way to truly burn wood efficiently, in my opinion anyway, is to at least have it split. So a couple of these pieces, I'm going to there's 2 of them here, but I just want to get them split, get them busted open, and then I'm going to throw them back there in the tote with the rest of the wood for next season. And they're just going to sit there and season all year long until next year at this time, when then they'll go into the boiler and be turned into heat. So let me show you these 2 ugly pieces. So there's our first piece. You can see he's got a crotch up there, and then he's got this stem coming out the side. So you got a big knotty mess there, but this one I think won't be too bad. So like on this one, my plan of attack anyway, and I like to kind of look at these things and kind of, get a game plan figured out. So I think my first hit's going to be right here. Bust that piece off, and then I'd probably hit it again right here and try to bust that off, and then I'd bust each of those in half again. So this other piece right here, he might be a little tricky as well, because he's kind of got a crotch going that way and then another one diagonally this way. So again, this is going to be a big knotty mess in there. But I think with this one, I'm going to maybe try to hit it right there in between and bust that open. There are the 2 big ugly boiler wood chunks I'm going to bust up here quick. So again, these pieces, there's nothing pretty about them, but they will burn and they will make heat. They probably won't do much good in their current state, because inside there, it would never dry down. And if you threw these in a boiler, all that you're going to be doing is you're going to be using the heat from, your other wood that you put in the boiler to basically dry these down. So you don't really gain anything. You use energy to dry them instead of energy to produce heat. So that's why you split them open, let them season, and they'll be good to go. So those two pieces filled this tote up nicely with some big snarly chunks. I mean, you can see this one right here. Just a big, I mean, that stuff is going to burn great once it dries out. So this one's full, and then I had to go throw a couple pieces over here. The other thing with just busting up bigger chunks of wood into smaller, more manageable sizes is just the ease of handling it. So now with those two big chunks of future boiler wood busted up, now it's time to head up to the shed and get things ready to fire up the boiler. So one of the first things to do, remove the cap from the chimney. Take a look down in there. Actually doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty good. All right, so with the chimney cover off, now what I do is I usually just drain out a few gallons of water just to get out any of the sediment that may have built up, and then also just kind of check the water to see how it looks inside there. Usually every other year, every third year, I'll add a gallon of treatment. This year I'm not going to, so we'll just drain out some water and take a look and see how it looks. So there's the first bucket that I drained out, and you can see that stuff is still looking all colored with the treatment, so that's still looking good. Not very much sediment in it. You can tell too by the smell of the water that the treatment is still in there and still has a good amount of treatment mixed in with the water. So that's a good thing. But now that I've drained that out, what I always do is after I drain water out, I always put it right back in. All right, so we've got the water topped off. We got the chimney cover off. We checked everything back here. So now all we need to do is flip on the switch and it'll give us the reading of the water temperature, and then we start the fire on the inside. So little boss man is here to supervise, get this fire going. Let's flip the switch. You want to flip the switch? There we go. Pump is circulating. Let's check the water temperature. Water temperature is at, I don't know if you can read that, 62. All right, so the water temperature is at 62 degrees. Now we'll get things set up to start the fire.
That's cool. There's one in here. That's only the last one. Big. Very heavy.
Okay, so we've got some wood in there, we've got some cardboard burning. So now I'm going to turn on the blower, and that'll get this fire going pretty good. There goes the blower. Let's go check the chimney. It has begun. So when we fired it up, the water temperature was at 62 degrees, and the water temperature needs to reach 170 for the blower to shut off. And then what happens is that water will circulate, and as we draw heat off of the water, as the water temperature drops to 160, the fan then will kick back on. So the set points are 160 degrees is when the blower kicks on, and then it heats the water up until it's 170, and then it shuts off. And then as the heat slowly is pulled off of that water, the temperature drops, the blower kicks on, the cycle repeats. So let's see, we're up to 70. All right, if you remember back earlier in the video when I was talking about splitting up those big chunks of boiler wood for next year and how I wanted to get those hunks busted open so they got a good chance to season. So let me show you why that is important, and I'll show you how you can tell that your wood is seasoned. Check this out. All right, first I'm going to show you the fire. See that? Fire is burning. Now, look at that stack. How much smoke do you see coming out of that stack right there? That's the sign you're burning some seasoned wood. So as we're waiting for that water temperature to climb up, I would just like to say thanks to these people right here. Give them a big shout out. Very grateful for all the support and donations last week on the Back 40 live stream. Yeah, it was a good time. Back 40 birthday bash. But this week we'll be doing it again. Another Back 40 live stream coming at you tomorrow night. So if you guys have any questions regarding this boiler or the whole setup or anything like that, you can either leave them in the comments down below, but if I don't get back to you, because sometimes it's tough to get back to all the comments on the videos, so if you can, stop by the live stream each and every Friday night at 8 p.m. Central. We have the Back 40 live stream. So if you stop by there, you get to interact, hang out with all of us woodhounds, and then you can ask your questions, and I can pop them up and get to them and reply right then and there live. So hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow night on the Back 40 live stream. And there we go, we are at 170. So now the blower is off and the wood that's inside there is just gonna smolder and sit there and slowly burn until this temperature drops down to 160. And then at that point, the blower will kick on, heat everything back up to 170. And like I said, just repeat the cycle. So we probably won't be drawing much heat off of it now, maybe a little bit tonight when it cools off, but the other big thing is it also heats my hot water. So now the electric bill is going to be going down because the hot water is being heated from this. The hot water use will probably draw more heat off of this than us actually heating up and running the furnace in the house. So what happens then is this hot water goes through a heat exchanger inside the furnace. So then when the furnace thermostat drops down, that blower turns on, forces air across the exchanger, draws the heat off, cools the water comes back, gets heated up. Like I said, cycle just keeps repeating all winter long. So you can see that the fire inside is still burning pretty hot because the temperature keeps going up. It's up to 174 now. So we've gone up to 175 now. This red pine in there is still kicking off some heat. But like I said before in my videos, like this is the best time of the year to be burning up this pine because you're not needing a lot of heat, but it will, you know, when needed, when this thing kicks on, it'll get that water temperature right back up there. So I think that's going to do it for this video. The burning season has begun here in the Back 40. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have fired up your wood boilers or your wood stoves or whatever you heat with if you're burning wood. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.